Okay, quick bike, swim, bike, and then we're going to chat about how I got into triathlon. Let it all hang out. So, a question that I get asked a lot is, how did I get started in triathlon? So I figured I'd just quickly roll through it. I used to be a runner. I ran in high school. My friends ran in high school, and I guess it was middle school at the time. And so I was like, all right, let's run. And then the next following year, like, it was all of a sudden, it was completely uncool to be the runner, on the track team. So the team went from being like 50 people to like, 8 people or whatever. And I just remember thinking like, okay, no, I like running. I want to run. So I kept with the team, and you go from being like just an also ran guy to being closer to the front of the pack. So started to have some success really early on. In fact, I think even in middle school, they let me run varsity. I mean, it's not like a huge, like I was like some superstar or anything. The team struggled to get 5 runners. I remember one year in particular, I don't remember which year it was, but one year we were just like going to people that, were not super into running. We're just like, I know that you're on the team and I know you don't love it, but please don't quit the team because we need 5 runners to score. So, in Alabama, where I grew up, running was not the big sport by any means. But I had some success in running and ran in college. Did some marathons. I was a state champion in high school. And then I was, I improved in college a good bit. I wasn't, a superstar by any means. I kind of just worked my way up, did a lot of high mileage running. Definitely wasn't scared to put in very large volumes of running. I just enjoyed it. And I was probably I was able to qualify for the NCAA championships. I was all regional or all South regional. I also was on a team that had, a whole bunch of Kenyans and things like that. So that doesn't hurt when your team helps you qualify for the NCAAs. But after college, my plan was race the marathon. I did run 2:33 in the marathon, which sounds fast, but the reality is, it's a far cry from, running 2:20 or 2:22 or so to qualify for the Olympic trials. I thought, I'd be able to get there, but I never actually put it together. Because the 2:33 that I ran was just, messing around after a cross-country season. But anyway, after that, I continued to run and basically just fought Achilles issues for a long time. And finally a doctor was like, hey, you need to take a break from running. He was like, take 3 months completely off of running. And I was like, okay, I'll take 3 months off, but I'm gonna immediately get a bike and get in the pool. And I remember going and grabbing a bike from Craigslist and just being like, yeah, I don't need to try out the bike. I just need to buy the bike because I'm gonna go out and ride today because I'm not running today, I'm gonna bike. Same thing with the pool. I went to the pool and I was like, this is an Olympic pool? And the lifeguard was like, yeah, I think it's an Olympic pool. I was like, okay, Olympic pool's 50 meters. Okay, let me swim a mile. Let me see if I can swim a mile. I swam a mile and my time was 18 minutes and I'm like, yeah, okay, let me look it up. I remember looking online and thinking like 18 minutes. Yeah, that's like really, really good for the mile. Like top high school type times. And I was like, but I'm pretty talented. And I used to swim growing up. I'm pretty sure, yeah. I mean, I swam 18-minute mile. Turns out that was half a mile. It was a 25-meter pool. So, yeah, that's a nice awakening there. But the pool, the swimming came along. I found a nice pool and a group of people to swim with, and just, built up the endurance that you need when you first start swimming. It's like you make it down and back and you're out of breath. And then you fix some things with a stroke and things like that, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I can swim a mile. So just little things that you can fix with swimming to really get you to be able to train, right? Like you're getting to the point where you can actually train. So I did my first triathlon season, and it was ugly, like everyone's. You get off the bike, and I remember I ran a 5K, and it was like 20 minutes or something like that, like right at 20 minutes, and I was like, I'll probably run a 5K. I might run, 17:30 or something like that, and it was, way off, just because you get off the bike and your legs are wobbly, and you haven't been training. So I did that. The following year I did an Olympic that year, and the second year I did half Ironman distance, and again, more and more training, and just had a really cool group to train with. And then, the idea was like the following year, try to do an Ironman race, right? Because that's what people do in triathlon. And that year was just like, you had this huge fear of, okay, this is a huge undertaking. I don't even know if I'll be able to do this. Is this even possible? And so even in the winter time, I took the time to really like bike a lot, like really regularly, like doing bike workouts, like actually training. And I got a lot better at the bike. I used rollers for the first time and smoothed out my pedal stroke, and just went from this guy that could kind of hang with, the group of bikers that I was with, to being like a guy that could lead that pack, which was really, nice. It was a nice improvement. And that was just completely based on the fear of racing an Ironman. I raced Canada that summer. I went 10:13 or something like that, which I was really happy with. It's just like no flats, no problems. And I've been hooked ever since. And I really think it's not necessarily the racing. I think what I actually prefer, and what really, hooked me the most in the sport, is the nostalgic feeling of training twice a day, like getting up, swimming, and then coming home and like knowing like afternoon I'm gonna do a bike workout. It really reminded me of like collegiate running, kind of that, like those times when I used to run every morning, like 100-mile weeks, and just that was the big, I think, hook. I guess I'm a sucker for nostalgia, but I've been doing triathlon now for, I don't know, maybe 8 years or so. So I'm seeing less and less improvement, which is fine. But I still think that there's some things that I can do to kind of take some time off, whittle some time down. So anyway, yeah, that's how I actually got started in triathlon. It's a little bit about why I do the sport. But yeah, I mean, I love it. It's great because, like there's each sport has its pluses. Swimming is super therapeutic when you hit the water. Biking is it's amazing when you're out there on a good day and the weather's beautiful and you're cruising with a friend. And running, I still love running the most. And you guys, if you guys watched any of these videos, like I love running on the trails. I hit the trails all the time. And that's always been the dream. And so yeah, I think triathlon allows me to do a lot less running, but still, do it competitively. You have a lot of like cardio, work with the other sports. And so sometimes, like even in this duathlon that I did a couple weeks ago, haven't been training for running at all and was still able to run like an 18-minute 5K, which again, for some people, they're gonna think, wow, that's super slow, and other people are gonna think, wow, that's super fast. It's relative to to all of our athletic, potentials. So that's how I got into triathlon. Thanks for listening. If you're new here, feel free to subscribe. Thanks for any of you guys that are subscribers. Hit the like button and the notification button if you're into that kind of thing. Thanks for checking us out. Talk to you guys later.